Do you all remember last 3 years, I can say that every year this December flood phenomenon happened in Malaysia. The real question is, this year, will we face that disaster again? And are we ready? According to a study by the National Disaster Management Agency, flood have become the most frequent disaster ever happened in Malaysia. Flood usually happen when an excess of water submerges the normally dry ground. Floods no longer only affect the residents of the East Coast but have started to occur frequently in the state of Selangor and the city of Kuala Lumpur. Hence, it is crucial for us, the Malaysians, to know the main cause of a flood and the consequences that we might have to bear. Let us moving on to the causes of flood. What are the actual causes of flood? Should we just blame it on the weather? Let's identify what can be the causes of flood disaster. Apart from the continuous rains that result in the frequent flooding, there must be several causes that are difficult to be solved. By referring to this pie chart, a study was conducted on the public's perception regarding the causes of frequent floods in Malaysia, which identified 6 potential explanations. The main cause of flood, which is shown by 28% in the chart, is having a poor and insufficient drainage system. Pollution be the second factor that takes up to 20% in chart, 18% due to poor urban management, and 16% due to environmental factors. This shows that it is very important to keep the drains clean of debris and trash that can clog the drains and disrupt the water to flow smoothly as it should. Clogged drains subsequently create pollution, which then result in flash floods. According to Malaysia kini, an improper drainage system, which caused by many drains to become clogged with garbage and sediments, has caused flash flood in Jelapang, Perak. Moreover, due to clogged drains and pollution as well, flash floods not only occur in inner cities but even happen in the city of Kuala Lumpur, that happened most recently in October last year. Based on the chart, it can be seen that the rainy weather is not actually the main cause of flood. Heavy rain is seen as only 11% of the causes of flood. However, a very prolonged heavy rainfalls can cause monsoon flood, which are different from flash flood. Monsoon flood are those that often occur in the eastern states of Malaysia and like Kelantan, Pahang, and Terengganu and Western Sarawak in early November and can be until March the next year. River flows during monsoon floods can take up to a week to return to normal levels. Different with flash floods which occur in areas with rapid development and due to the rapid rise of water levels and improper drainage system. It may only take up a few hours for the water to recede back to normal levels. Floods in Malaysia are caused by various factors and not just rains, most of which are caused by human irresponsibility to the environment. Now that we know the causes, what is then the effects and losses that the victims has to bear? Let's analyze the consequences and damages to the victims after all the flood disasters that happen every year, especially the most recent monsoon flood that happened in mid-December last year. It must be very traumatizing and tiring, especially for the monsoon flood victims, to face the disaster every year, and mainly the cost of recovery that needs to be done after the flood, which may only last a year before being damaged by the next flood disaster. A survey has been carried out by the Department of Statistics Malaysia to assess the impact of the flood that hit Malaysia in mid-December 2021 in the states involved. According to the chart, several categories have been divided on the overall losses from the latest monsoon flood, which resulted in losses of up to Rm 6.1 billion. It can be seen that the public assets and infrastructure suffered the greatest losses, accounting for 33% of the total losses and loss of about Rm 2 billion, followed by living quarters that bear losses for about Rm 1.6 billion, Other than that, vehicles that takes up for about 1 billion, manufacturing damages that takes up to 0.9 billion. Moreover, premises that have been destroyed around 0.5 billion. Lastly, agriculture that also impacted and losses for about 90.6 million. This survey was conducted in 17 districts in 6 states that were involved in floods in December 2021. The flood also have caused 48 deaths in total. After being hit by floods every year, the district and state must have come up with various solutions and strategies to deal with the flood phenomenon. This year, government has made an yearly preparations by activating the role of the district disaster management in all locations at risk. The committee will focus on rescue work and deliver aid to flood locations and manage victims to temporary shelters. About 6,010 shelters for the victims have been activated in all risky locations, which can house almost 1.6 million victims. Based on the analysis, it can be seen that the flood disasters are very dangerous and invite huge losses. It is also seen that the government strategy is focused on how to save victims. However, same losses as last year might still be repeated due to the lack of strategy to improvise the main causes of flood. In a nutshell, it is crucial for the government and the public to understand why the flood in Malaysia became like a tradition that visits us every year. It is very clear that the main cause is the improper and insufficient drainage system that disturb the water flow. Hence, aside from the government, the publics also need to play their role rights and do not throw garbage everywhere to avoid clogged drains. Let's control what we can control. We definitely cannot control the weather, but we can be a responsible person with common sense. Let's not risk the life of others because of our irresponsible traits. Together we can make the impossible possible.